You'll find your person, don't worry about it. You got time. It's what I've been hearing systematically after being rejected 8 times by 8 different girls. But I don't think those statements are that true. I always wanted to be in a relationship, not for the sake of it, of course. I wanted to build something genuine with the person I was attracted to. Yet, love isn't guaranteed, and I'm starting to think that maybe I never find it. I'm going to explain to you why I think this by telling you my story, and maybe you can relate. I'm only going to talk about the last rejection, because, to be honest, it's not your average rejection, far from it. And compared to it, the 7 rejection before are completely meaningless. The last rejection I got is the only one that matters. So I'm not that socially skilled, and I'm quite observant, so I noticed her because she was physically appealing to me. And one day I saw her dressing well, so I had the courage to go up to her and to compliment her about her hairstyle and also her outfit. And 1 week later, we saw each other 2 times. We both smiled at each other, and she raised her hand as if she wanted to wave at me, and I think she wanted to do that, but I didn't quite catch that because I already was looking elsewhere. And we continued on talking in the next week, and I was able to discover more of her personality. And very early on, she was open, she was sharing a lot of personal things. She was talking about her passion, how she felt. She didn't feel good in the school environment, how she wanted to be homeschooled next year. She talked about her parents, she talked about her ambition of becoming a musician. She talked about how she sometimes talked about ChatGPT. She talked about how she was passionate about music, art, writing, etc. And from my point of view, she was exactly like me. I wouldn't say we had the exact same hobbies, as it was more centered about writing and art, and she was more centered about music and piano. And I made sure she didn't see me as a friend. I made sure to flirt, at least I tried to flirt. I complimented her, and I made sure that she understood I didn't saw her as a friend, but I liked her. And I did a big reveal one day. I did it earlier that I would have liked to. I wanted to know a bit more about her personality, but the timing was really shit. We had holidays, and then we had a week full of exams, and then the end of the school year would be very soon. So I confessed earlier that I would have liked to. I didn't tell her directly. I thought it would be more clever to write her a letter. So I did, and basically I told her that I appreciated her a lot, and that I felt something for her. And the next day she searched me and she wanted to talk about it, and she told me she really appreciated it, and she wanted to think about it. And 3 weeks later, after the holidays and the exam week, we had a 1-hour conversation where she rejected me. She told me she wasn't ready. She told me she hasn't been attracted to anyone before, and she was just figuring things out. She told me she was really grateful for all the things I did to her, and that she appreciated the gesture I did to her. She told me it wasn't about me at all, it was just about her. And she wasn't able to handle the kind of emotional depth that I offered her. She struggled, and later she wrote me a letter about how she felt, and she really opened up about mental health, her lack of self-confidence, her struggling at school, whether it was middle school environment or high school. And I'm not talking about the grades, I'm talking about how people treated her. She had really bad experience, and she basically said to me that she struggled to see herself as someone worth of something, and that she was really grateful to meet my path, and that I was able to make her feel a bit better, especially at the end of the school year. And afterwards, she decided that we'll keep in touch, of course, because she told me she could relate to me a lot. She really appreciated who I was, and she didn't want it to end there. I guess she wanted to know more about me, and she told me she could relate to me a lot. And so we kept on talking. We had a 1-hour conversation where sometimes we didn't even have to pause, or there wasn't any silence. We just kept on talking for 1 hour, and the connection was pretty natural, I guess. I'm hypersensitive, and I sensed she was too, so I asked her, and actually it was the case. And I reckon I'm very lucky to be attracted to someone that I don't even know, and somewhat, I talk to them, and it happens that they are exactly like me. But we didn't only have deep conversations, we were able to switch back to lighter subjects and even laugh together. And in my 17 years of existing on this earth, I feel like that's the first time I've really been able to connect to someone. And like I already said, I'm afraid I won't meet another person with who I'm able to do that again, connect on such a level. She even told me she saw me as more of a best friend of 8 months, even though we met only 3 months ago. And my fear is moving on forward. How am I going to find that kind of people that is so kind, so emotionally intelligent, so mature, and so empathic? How am I going to find that person who has those personality traits but also is attractive in my eyes? And also, how am I going to find that person that is emotionally intelligent in all those traits, that is attractive to my eyes, and that I attract? Because I've only met this type of person once in my life, and visibly she couldn't end up with me in a romantic relationship. So I'm scared that I won't meet someone like this in the future at all. Of course, there are strategies to increase my chance of meeting that kind of person, going to places where those emotionally intelligent people usually go. But even with that, the people could be emotionally intelligent, but are they going to have the same qualities as she had? I don't know. This video was pretty hard to record. I had to redo parts because I was getting emotional. The delivery of the story was pretty trash. I hesitated to post a lot. I'll do better next time. I didn't quite look at the camera. I promise I'll do better next time.